I'm gonna add this in. This is still in reference to the like Elon Musk Diablo Exile. Oh, it's a Path of Exile too. I've never played those, by the way. I don't know how they're played. I mean, on one hand, I would never lie about that, but people have egos about all kinds of stuff, you know. I mean, I've lied about stuff in my past that I probably shouldn't have. Everyone has. And here's where I stand. You know, if the worst thing that Elon has done is cheat on a couple of video games, like, it's just not that important to me. Like, people are like, well, if he'll cheat there, he'll cheat somewhere else. Like, well, maybe. I don't know. He seems to not be cheating as far as SpaceX. Maybe he's paying people to do that stuff for him. You know, he's paying people to run Twitter for him. He's paying people to do Tesla for him. Like, is that cheating? Like, I don't know. I think video games are a pressure point society. They're like, gamers are very, very, I don't want to use that word, but they are, it's video games, when you're a gamer, it is a part of your life. It is a part of your soul. And it's like when someone cheats at it, it's just like it hurts you personally, and I get that, you know. And I know he does like exclaim to the world that he's a number one gamer and stuff like that. People will take, sure, like, hit him with it, you know what I mean? Well, don't hit him, but, like, you know, talk, like, criticize, do whatever you got to do. But it's like, it's not that important in the grand scheme, you know. Like, hit me up whenever Elon Musk starts, like, destroying economies or funding genocide or something, you know. Like, let me know when he starts doing some crazy stuff. Not like he paid a guy to grow his account on Diablo Path of Exile or something. Like, it's like, yeah, it's an added layer to his character in my mind, you know. Like, he has an ego. He has a problem with his ego. Like, I'm sure there are so many people out there that have a lot of money that have trouble keeping themselves in an equilibrium, keeping themselves stable mentally as far as the power and the ego go. It's very, very difficult to get those, like, 7 deadly sins to, like, not overtake you in that sense. But I don't necessarily think that the way you acted now matters as much, especially in something reference to a video game, you know. Like, if I say, let's see what happens in a few months or a few years, like, if he's still cheating on video games, like, whatever, dude. But if the rest of the world is running smoothly and people are able to talk freely on his platforms, and he's relatively maintained the status quo of his beliefs and ideologies, then I think that, you know, like, it's not that important in the end. You know, even Asmongold was like, it's not that big a deal, you know. Like, I just don't see the reason to burn a bridge with this guy. And it's true. Like, why burn a bridge with the richest, one of the most powerful people in the world, who he says he agrees with him on, like, a bunch of stuff? Like, why do that over a video game? It just seems, it's like when people crash out in jail over, like, the slightest disrespect, or if you go to the wrong part of town and you could get killed over $5, and it's not necessarily about the money, it's about the disrespect. It's like, there's a certain maturity you have to have in life where you gotta pick your battles, one, and two, you gotta have priorities on the things that really mean that much to you. And if those video games and cheating on those video games is that important to you, like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be important to you. Video games are very, like, I really enjoy them. I'm glad they're in my life. I spend a lot of my time playing them. But it's like, if that is the wall, that is still the final straw of like whether Elon Musk is a good or an evil person, then I don't know, dude. You got to change your priorities a bit. You know, I have to add up all the stuff he has done in his life. And he's done some creature stuff. He's done some ego-driven, God-complex stuff that I don't agree with. And he's got a lot of views that I don't agree with. But overall, I think he means well. And it's like you got to take what you can get. And it's, as far as all the rich, corrupt billionaires out there, I'm glad that he's there. Like, I'm glad that there's him on the other side of the scale, kind of, if not fighting for me. I don't think he's fighting for me, but at least he's fighting the other billionaires. So, because the world runs in a specific way where all the people at the top get the little people to fight each other so that they can keep scamming you. And if all the billionaires and the powerful people hate him, or people like Trump, and they're fighting each other, they have less attention on people like you and me. There's less of a power play manipulating us in the culture with their money and the media and the propaganda and things like that. If they're fighting each other, if they're doing it to us, why not just allow them to catfight? So it's not necessarily that I'm like an Elon Musk fanboy. It's that he is like a stone in the pond, creating waves in his own type of ecosystem. You know, there used to be like a monolith in that type of elite status, that white collar elite status, where they all kind of worked. They didn't work together. They still backstabbed and hurt each other, but there was this common, this consensus that they deserve what they have, and it's better off letting the little people fight each other as opposed to fighting them. And I like that kind of rocking motion in that area, because you don't really get that a lot. You rarely have the richest man in the world not necessarily fighting for you, but fighting against the people you like worse than him. And I think that's necessary in this world. And if people just continue to try to destroy Elon, then there's going to be no, whether he means to be or not, he is a barrier between people like us and the people that want to control us. And he's one of those people that wants to control us, but the fact that he wants to control us differently than the rest of them is its own kind of protective shield from them, the ones that want to do worse. And I think just having him there, doing his thing, whether he's fighting for you or not, whether he believes the things you believe or not, I think that it's a necessary evil to keep kind of like an equilibrium in the world. And I'm comfortable with his state of mind. I don't expect him to brutalize economies and destroy worlds. He's not I don't see that in him, you know? I see him as a necessary evil to keep things equal, whenever there used to not be someone at that status that would fight against the rest of the powerful people. There used to be kind of this monolithic thing that would control you and try to keep chaos within the smaller realms of our earthly realm as opposed to their godly realm, and they would control us like puppets through all of their money and all the things that they control. But he's kind of a wrench in their machine, in their gears. And I like that. I like that kind of China in the bull shop type thing. That's kind of why I enjoy Trump. I don't agree with Trump on a lot of things, but I think that having characters like that in that status, it can only be a good thing, because there's not a monolithic idea of how things should be. And monolithic ideologies always lead to corruption and tyranny. And if whether Trump is tyranny or their tyranny, having two of them or two kind of teams fighting each other is better than them being one and fighting us. So I think we should lay off of trying to destroy Elon Musk over a video game. And he's done some wrong stuff. You know, he's controlled Twitter not perfectly. But it's, in my position, he seems to be willing to listen to reason at times and correct his decisions, correct his kind of ego in a way. And I think he's the proper kind of chaos in a world that never used to have that. So I think we should take what we should get. The lesser of two evils in a way. I think that he's a necessary figure for the change that I want to see in the world, whether I agree with him or not. People like him are a net positive towards the vision that I want to see America and the world go. Not necessarily his politics or what he does personally, but him just being there is a wall in the road for the people that I don't like. I hate even more than him. So, and I don't hate him. I'm just saying that people I dislike a lot hate him. And that means a lot to me. So that's it.